What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Matthews back at it again with another hometown take. Today I'm talking about the Atlanta Falcons and kind of giving you a mock draft 3.0. I kind of did, one, I did another one, now I'm doing my third one. I got a different scenario for you this time. I'm going to talk about that here in a couple seconds. But before I do that, make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. You already know what's going on. Also, make sure you check out the first link you see in my description box. That is a link to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel. Next, check out the next link you're going to see in my description box. That is to check out the Tough Calls podcast. Me and your girl Symone have your favorite coaches, former and current athletes, sports reporters, sports anchors. We got everybody you want to hear from on the Tough Calls podcast. So make sure you check that out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And just click the link below. It's that easy and it's that simple. Make sure you subscribe to it and share out the podcast as well. Tell your friends about the show. You already know what's going on. Also, actually, I think that's it. Do I have anything else I want to tell y'all? I think that's about it. Hope y'all guys are doing well. All that good stuff. Yeah. That's it. Alright, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Today, like I said, I'm talking about the Atlanta Falcons, kind of a mock draft 3.0. I'm giving you a scenario here where the Falcons actually trade back. Yes, there has been a lot of talk about whether the Falcons should trade back or stay put in this draft. So, the first question I'm going to pose to y'all is, do you think the Atlanta Falcons should trade back or stay put in this upcoming 2021 NFL draft? Hashtag stay put if you want to stay at number 4 and draft someone at number 4, or hashtag trade back if you want to see the Falcons trade back in this draft. So tell me what you think, and also use the hashtags. I'm trying to get a consensus. So let me know what you guys think. I would be okay with trading back if it's the right deal. What the right deal mainly means to me is you still get a good first round pick this year. So hopefully you would want to stay in the top 10 for me. You want to stay in the top 10. You don't fall out below the top 10. You still want to stay top 10. Really, you would like to stay top 6, 7. But if you stay in the top 10, I still think that's pretty good. Actually, no, staying in the top 10 is very good. So as long as the Falcons stay in the top 10 and get a first round pick for next year, that is what I think the main meat of what you should be getting is. You're getting a top 10 pick this year, and you're also getting a first round pick from whatever team you're trading with from next year. Also, hopefully you can acquire another second round pick or third round pick for this year. And then, whatever else little things, throw in maybe 4th, 6th, 7th round pick, something like that. But mainly what I would want if the Atlanta Falcons trade back in this draft, I want a top 10 pick this year, which, probably going to get. You're just going to swap picks this year with, whatever team you're trading with. So a top 10 pick, which should be easily doable. A first round pick next year. That's the big key for me. First round pick next year as well, because you don't expect, or at least I don't expect, hopefully we don't expect or don't see the Atlanta Falcons in a predicament next year where they have a high draft pick. Because if we have a high draft pick next year, that means we're gonna be bad again. I don't want to sit through another 4-12 season. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to see my birds win again. I'm ready to see my dirty birds fly and soar and all that good stuff next year. So I want a first round pick from whoever we're trading with from next year, because we can still have a high draft pick potentially, and we could be good. Have your cake and eat it too. That's what I like. So get a first round pick for next year, second round pick for this year, 3rd, 4th, something like that. Maybe let's throw a 7th in there or something. So we do something like that. If we get in one of those scenarios, I think that's a no-brainer for the Falcons to trade back. Why? Because you don't need a quarterback right now. You don't need that. This Falcons team has a lot of issues. We were a 4-12 football team. We were a bad football team. Not because of just Matt Ryan, not because of just Julio Jones didn't play, not because the defense was bad and couldn't hold a lead when we got one. It was for many reasons. We couldn't run the football. Defense was bad, giving up too many big plays. We couldn't stop anybody. Matt Ryan had his struggles. He had his bad games for sure. I'm not going to put everything on everybody else beside Matt Ryan, but I'm not putting it all on Matt Ryan either. Julio Jones didn't play a lot of games. That hurt us. There was a lot of different things. Oh, don't even get me started about the coaching. Coaching was the most of it. Bad coaching was a lot of it. Bad coaching, bad play calling, a lot of it was the issue. A little bit of everything. Mainly coaching, mainly not being able to run the ball, mainly defense. I'm not going to put that much on Matt Ryan, but sort of his fault too. And Julio Jones not being there as well. So, either way it goes, we have a lot of issues. That's the main point. That's the meat and potatoes. We got a lot of issues, got a lot of roles to fill, got a lot of needs to bring in, and we don't have a lot of money. So we can't just bring in free agents all willy-nilly. We got to be strategic with that. And not only strategic, there's just not a lot we can do. So what does that mean? We have to improve this team with draft picks. That's the best way to improve anyway. You don't want to bring a guy in because essentially what you're doing with a free agent, you're bringing a guy in off of what he has done for another team, not what he will do for your team, because it's not guaranteed what he's going to do for your team. Like I see people say, bring J.J. Watt in, bring Patrick Peterson in. Yeah, that's cool. I get it. You know, those are good players and probably still would be good players for the Falcons, but we don't know if it's a guarantee. Just because we saw Patrick Peterson be a beast for the Arizona Cardinals doesn't mean he'll be a beast for the Atlanta Falcons. Just because we saw J.J. Watt be a beast for the Houston Texans, mind you, he hasn't even been that much of a beast because of injury, you know. No shade, just truth. J.J. Watt, great guy, great player, just don't know if he can stay healthy. We don't know. We've seen him be a great player in Houston, but we don't know if he will be a great player in Atlanta. Y'all get what I'm saying? I think y'all do. Either way it goes, the best way to get better is improving in the draft. You get guys in the draft, you develop them, make them better. They, bring their natural talents in. You sign them to hopefully long deals. And if you sometimes you have a good problem when you can't keep them all, but you still have a lot of good players to work with. And that's what you want to do. Like when we drafted so well in 16, Debo, Keanu Neal, was Grady Jarrett in that draft class as well? I think he was in that draft class as well. Stuff like that. Getting in draft classes like that where you get so many good players, you got to make tough choices on who you're going to keep and who you're not. So, perfect trade scenario for the Falcons for me, like I said, would be trading back, getting a top 10 pick, a first round pick for next year, and then an extra second, third, sixth, seventh round pick, something like that. Listen to this. This isn't I don't know if this is a rumor or a report or whatever. I don't even know if this has been talked about. I'm just making this up. So don't come at me and saying, you're just pulling this out of your butt, because yes, I am. I haven't gotten this from anywhere. I'm just saying this is an example. This is what this is. What if, and I don't know if they would do this or not, what if the Denver Broncos, they have the 9th overall pick this year. We get the 9th overall pick from the Denver Broncos this year, so we swap picks. They go up to 4. They're not sure about Drew Lock. They can draft their quarterback if they want to. We go back down to number 9. We draft a guy like Patrick Surtain, Caleb Farley. I think if we get another corner for this defense, I think this defense with Dean Pease can be really, really, really good. Why do I think that? Patrick Surtain, do I really need to go into a deep dive about Alabama defenders? Alabama defensive players? I don't think so. I mean, look at the defensive line from the Washington football team. You know how good that Washington football team defense is? Yeah, most of those guys are because they came from Alabama. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. Yes, I know Chase Young is from Ohio State and all that good stuff. But either way it goes, you got all those guys from Alabama, the Washington football team. You got Donta Hightower. You got Trevon Diggs, who's had pretty good 2 seasons, or no, last year was his first year, I think. And a pretty good rookie campaign out of Alabama today. So now I think Patrick Surtain can be that same dude. I think Alabama defenders usually turn out pretty well. If you ask me, Alabama players in general turn out to be pretty good football players in the NFL. And I think this wouldn't be too different. So, you draft Patrick Surtain, you shore up that backfield, you got AJ Terrell and Patrick Surtain as your main corners. Hopefully we can bring back Darqueze Dennard. Maybe if we have to even put KZ at the slot corner, but I would love to put Darqueze Dennard at slot corner. You get KZ back, you put him at the free safety position. Hopefully we can bring Keanu Neal back. You get him with the strong safety position, or maybe we can go out and get a guy if we don't bring Keanu Neal back. Maybe we can get a guy like Patrick Peterson, something like that. I know he usually plays corner, but maybe he's interested in moving over to safety because he is getting a little bit older, this, that, and the third. Or maybe we can even bring Patrick Surtain and move him over to safety. Who knows? I'm just spitballing here, okay? But either way it goes, you shore up that backfield with one piece, and all the pieces kind of fall into place. And now you got Deion Jones, you got Foye Oluokun, you get Grady Jarrett, maybe you get another pass rusher, linebacker, something like that in the second, third round, something like that. We got Michael Walker, who played good in the limited snaps he had last year as well. I think we're cooking with gas, y'all. So I'm just saying, that one pick it seems like it could change the whole defense. Just taking that one bad seed in Isaiah Oliver off the field and put in a good young player, and I think this could do a lot for this defense. Dean Pease too, he's already said he's gonna blitz from everywhere. Everybody is gonna blitz. And what were the Falcons most effective, and how did the Falcons get home a lot of the time towards the second half of the season? By blitzing. So I'm loving to hear Dean Pease saying he's gonna blitz. That's what I want to see, and that's what he's gonna do, because we don't have the four guys straight up to get home on the defensive line right now. That will come, I think, but it's just not it right now. We can't draft all defensive linemen and have them all hit and put them all on the line next to Grady Jarrett and we can just say go. That's not how it works. It's not gonna happen. It's not realistic. So we have to work with what we got right now. So what does that mean? Sending more blitzes, sending Foye Oluokun on blitzes, Deion Jones, Keanu Neal. Y'all know Keanu Neal bring the butter sticks. So come on, man. If we add Patrick Surtain, another shutdown corner, even Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. I forget. I think it's Virginia Tech. But either way it goes, Patrick Surtain or Caleb Farley, you bring those guys in, and I think we could do something serious on this defense, or at least make it a whole lot better, get a whole lot more takeaways and a whole lot more stops, and not have just people throwing the ball willy-nilly all over us because we can't get home, we can't cover anybody. So trade back to number 9, draft a guy like Patrick Surtain, Caleb Farley, somebody like that. Get a first-round pick next year from the Denver Broncos, who probably, whether they get a quarterback or not, are probably still not going to be that good. So we'll probably still get a pretty high pick from them, plus whatever our first-round pick is next year. We got 2 first-round picks next year, and we keep it pushing. We keep improving on this football team. That sounds like a pretty good option to me. Oh, and if you get another second-round pick, that's just another piece of talent, another asset that you can grab. Whether it's a running back and a lineman, running back and a safety, whatever. It's just another asset, and some more value, another talent you got on this football team that you can add to this team and make better and get us back in the gosh darn Super Bowl, because that's the goal, is to win a championship. Trading back helps us do that faster, adding on more assets, building on to what we already have. Guys, mind you, we lost 10 games by, it was one score less, I believe that's the stat. If we win those 10 games, if we even win half of those games, so half of 10 is 5. We win 5 more of those games, we're 9-7. A totally different football team that probably makes the playoffs. Maybe makes the playoffs. Can make a run at it at least. At least we're relevant. And that's if we just win half of those games. So think about that. This is not necessarily a bad football team. This is a football team that was bad in spots, badly coached, and just needed one more guy, one more piece, just something to fill, a hole or a need. Gosh darn it, get Isaiah Oliver off the field. But in all seriousness, I think trading back could be one of the best scenarios for the Falcons. If you stay at number 4, I think, yes, draft a quarterback. You don't know when you're going to be that high again. If you don't find any good trade suitors, go ahead and get your guy if you think he's in this draft. If he's not in this draft, then don't draft a quarterback. Get Penei Sewell, move Jake Matthews over to right tackle, move Caleb McGarry over to left guard, put Penei Sewell left tackle, keep Chris Lindstrom in right guard, Matt Hennessy at center, and we have a better offensive line too. So even if you don't have the quarterback here, number 4, which, they're looking at quarterback, but they're weighing all their options. So it just depends on who the Falcons think the best player available at number 4 is, if they can still get that guy at 9 by trading back. So we'll see. But I think if we can trade back, like I said, say we get the number 9 pick, a first-round pick next year, another second-round pick or third-round pick this year, I think that's almost a no-brainer, guys. But hey, tell me what you guys think. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm just spitballing some of my ideas. And make sure if you like these ideas, you like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you check out the first link in my description box to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel. Also, check out the second link you'll see. That's a link to the Tough Calls podcast with me and your girl, Symone. We're talking to your favorite coaches, anchors, hosts, former and current athletes, all that good stuff. So make sure y'all check that out in the link. You can also just search Tough Calls in the search bar on your iPhone, Android, or on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. So you can get us anywhere you find your podcast. And you'll get me next time when I talk to y'all next. And until I talk to y'all next time, you like how I switched up a little bit there? Anyways, peace.